Well, Mike, after Wednesday night against Brisbane and that, surely coming home here to your home fans and everything like that, the expectations would have been to get that win this afternoon. So was it a case, was the expectations not met by the Sixers this afternoon?
Yeah, I thought our guys, we tried to do a lot of really good things. I thought they really played hard. We were trying out there. Unfortunately, offensive rebounds in the first half, right? I thought we did some good things on the rotations, and there was a couple of times we fouled shooters or whatever, but you're going to have that once in a while against them because they take so many threes and you're trying to get there to contest. But 21 offensive rebounds in a half is probably not going to be the greatest thing for your team, right? And that took its toll on us. And you probably saw more of that in the second. Even though they got two, there was definitely a change in the tempo and the pace of the game from the first half to the second.
And you talked about pace the last time you played them too, about the fact that they controlled pace throughout the game. Was that similar to what we saw tonight as well?
Yeah, the numbers at the end are in the range that you'd like to play them at. You'd like to be a little wholer, I guess, and our team functions at its best with Ice and with Nick out there are things that help our group. We've played around with Small and thrown some different lineups out there now with John and some the other guys. And, I think there's a formula for our team to win. Tonight we just didn't get to it.
You talked about the need to practice and to continue to gel the group together even at this late stage of the season. Do you feel like you've got that time coming up ahead of you? Because it looks like there's definitely a need for it at the moment.
I don't want to sound like I'm making a whole bunch of excuses. Our schedule's been a challenge. It's probably the easiest way, if that doesn't sound like an excuse, because I don't want to give an excuse, but, it's just been a challenge. We've only been home just a little bit, and, we're taking right back off, and we've got to use every moment and every way to move the group ahead, right? And how you conserve your energy, but still move the group ahead, whether that's, whether it is actual practice or whether it's film or individual film, or there's a whole bunch of ways, and we'll have to tap into every resource that we can and every way that we possibly can do that. In small groups, large groups, playing groups, individuals, combos, partners. There's a whole bunch of different words and ways to do it, and we're going to have to exercise that because it will be sort of limited actual physical time on the court. But when we're on the court, then we have to be super efficient with what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish.
And just last one for me, Isaac Humphries didn't play any minutes in the final term. Was there some reasoning behind that, or some thoughts that you saw something out there on the floor and the matchup wasn't quite there? Or?
Sore knee, and we erred on the side of caution.
Okay.
I just didn't want to take a chance.
On a more positive note, Flynn Cameron had another amazing game. He's coming down to the end of the season. He's one of the leaders in the race for most improved. What can you say about the development of him over the course of this season?
Yeah, I don't know what I can say that maybe I haven't already said, but his development as a player, we're seeing him sort of blossom in front of our eyes from growing, and everything that he does on both sides of the ball and playing multiple positions. He's taken the opportunity here and just run with it. And you just love to see a young player do that. He's such a hard worker, and he wants to be a good player. It's in his DNA, from his family. I think everybody in his family plays basketball and plays it at a high level. And it's important to him to be a good player, and I think you see that on the floor. And, we're lucky to have him, and he's just done so many different things for us that, it's fun to see him grow. And, we'll get a chance to keep seeing him grow this year and in the future, which is exciting for the 36ers.
You touched on the importance to really tap into all of the resources. You are partnered with Sassy, and that's your training facility. I know you've come from an MBA system,
Yeah.
but is having that facility really beneficial to the team?
I think there's multiple facilities here in Adelaide that are really, really important. We do the bulk of our training over at Port Adelaide, the Power. They're outstanding. And, with gym access and the facilities and everything they do, and from their management to their coaching staff to their players, have just been open and welcoming to us. And then, Sassy's got an unbelievable facility and recovery facilities and, theaters and weightlifting. They've got it all. So, yeah, it's a combination of a lot of different things that we try to do. For the most part, we've been healthy for the year. It's been a key to our success. And, I would think that the facilities that we're able to access have a huge impact on that.
We have line to Chris.
Yeah, Mike, just a couple quickly. What do you think it is when you play this team, aside from the fact that they create so many extra shots for themselves with their offensive rebounding, but you're just not able to get enough shots up against them? I mean, you would be reasonably happy with what you did defensively, aside from those second chance opportunities, but 19 extra shots was the difference in the game. What's making it difficult for you to get enough shots up against them?
Yeah, well, it's always every team in this league, momentum, right? And it depends if you can contest shots and then rebound, and then you have the advantage to kind of run back at people and play in flow and play in space, or you're taking the ball out of the net. So, the combination of the offensive rebounds along with our turnovers, right? We've been a pretty much low turnover team the majority of the season. And what you see, tonight is obviously they bring a lot of pressure and they do some different things. And, that's why I talk about lineups. Our lineups, and it's definitely not an excuse. They played really well, and I give Phoenix, a lot of credit, right, to kind of impose their style on the game, even in a game that was probably less scoring than they're used to, right? I mean, the numbers are in the range that you want to play them at. But when you do the combination of offensive rebounds plus turnovers, that's going to be a hard combination to beat.
You talked about lineups. You were kind of forced to go small for a lot of tonight because Ice was not healthy and you were without Nick. But hopefully Ice is healthy, and once you get Nick back, will you try to get back to playing bigger lineups a little bit more, or where do you sit on going on that small lineup that you've been using a little bit lately? Yeah,
well, I mean, I think as a coach, you're always trying to, push the group and stretch the group, and that's what we try to do those things for in other situations, when you play small ball or do things like that. But yeah, we were kind of a little short-handed there tonight on that one. So we probably played more minutes tonight than we played the entire season. Small, and it's one thing when you play it in spurts and certain game situations, and then it's another thing when you're playing in it for longer stretches. And our guys were great, as in their communication and trying to work the problem. And unfortunately, turnovers and offensive rebounds were a couple of things that kind of put more pressure on you than you want.
And just lastly from me, we obviously spoke after Wednesday night's game and it was pretty emotional. As a group, did you have to sort of sit down and try to put that behind you and just try to move on from all of that emotion that came out of that?
No, I mean, I think everybody just kind of wanted to put it behind us and move on and focus forward. And I think that's the best thing for the group. And, that's what we tried to do. And, we'll try to get the group back and try to get everybody whole here. And we know what kind of challenges lay ahead for us here over the last 4 games.
Thanks very much, Mike.
All right.
Coach, you've done so many things so well this season. Are you confident that winning formula you spoke of is within reach, as you say, within the sharp end of the season?
100%. This group continues to evolve, and it's not always going to be as smooth and easy as we had in the middle section of the year, and this is part of it. And you need to see your team kind of respond to adversity, and it's an opportunity for us to really circle the wagons and come together is what you want to see the group do. And when we've done that, we've found ways to win games, and that's been really, really important for the group. And we'll have to rally and do it again. And we're at the part of the year where everybody's playing hard, and you got an eye to the future, whether it's playoffs or what's next in your career. So it's an important time of year for everybody. We know that, and we'll be focused on what we have here over these last 4 games and the challenges that are presented, and trying to still move the group forward and be the best version of ourselves at the end. And that's the goal, and we'll keep working to try to do that.
Thanks, Coach. That's all.
Okay. All right, guys.